The Bangtan Bang chat room was filled with messages. Jungkook and they had no idea about where Van was. At this point, they were mainly concerned about her safety. Their eyes were at the news on TV screen, crossing their fingers. Yoongi, if I was Van, where would I go? To any mid camp? Hardly. And Hosok instantly liked his comment on Bangtan Bang. Jungkook in Bangtan Bang chat box. She used to apply for those though. Yoongi. Doctors can't do too many things out of the box. Jungkook. She left no trace. How? I just hope she is fine. Yoongi. Contact her university officials. Jungkook looked at his Taehyung and gulped down. Hyung, what should I say? A new drop of tears made its way on Jungkook's cheek. Tae, will you stop crying? Jungkook, I'm missing her. How am I supposed to control my emotions, Hyung? Tae, Jinhyung, why did you skip feeding him almonds and walnuts? They took his laptop and opened the Google. He typed Van's med school's name while scolding the youngest. You coconut head. Jungkook, Hyung, I don't have enough strength to follow this ray of hope. Tae, Hobie Hyung is in the charge of the Asian doctors in the med camp. One of the students had qualified to join the camp. Yoongi, Taehyung, can you check my name after checking the student's name? Tae, the registration number is provided only in the official website and you would have to take the charge on the first day of the third week. Actually, Hobi had already described the whole situation to Yoongi. So Yoongi and Hobi knew about Van, though the youngers had honestly surrendered themselves. Both the elders were quite dissatisfied with the youngers. Hobi in the Bangtan Bang chat box. Jungkook, when will you come here? What's your schedule? Jungkook, I guess I will cancel it. Hobi, when she was with you, you worked like a workaholic. Jungkook, am I not regretting for that? Hobi, do you think I'm heartless? Do you think it's easy for us to see you suffer? You are not only the youngest, we literally raised you, Jungkook. They frowned. So, you were in the charge of the Asian doctors at there. I guess when is that one selected doctor from Korea? Am I right here? Hobi, Cook, would you like to come here a little early? Jungkook, Hyung, but I'm not a pro like you. Hobi, I want little relaxation in my life too. Jungkook looked at Tae like an obedient puppy. Hobi, by the way, my room is spacious enough and the doctor who is living beside me is also from Korea. And ask me what, Jimin is also here. Jimin murmured, what if she would be offended? But the next moment his facial expressions changed. Young, how is she? She hadn't eaten properly. Is she looking pale? How's the food there? Hobi, I didn't like the food here. It's bland. If you want to know anything else, come here and share room with me. Oh, I forgot one thing. I'm getting a strong holiday vibe here. Jungkook, I have asked my manager to do the arrangements. I will be there as soon as possible. Yoongi, you must arrange your schedule for longer time. Tae, yeah, she has gone for a pretty good year. On the other side, collecting the dinner one was about to hang that on the doorknob, but the door was not locked. As she knocked softly, the door opened a little. One guest Hobby might having a FaceTime with his six brothers. She tried to move from there as soon as possible, but her vision was blurred. Come on, you are just exhausted. One grabbed the doorknob to balance herself. Hobby glanced at the door. I need to go, my dinner is delivered. Yoongi knew everything about the food delivery deal with Van. Husok, don't you need to go to the dining area to have dinner? Hobby got up and walked towards the door. I asked my neighbor to collect it for me. His smile turned pale as he saw Van at the door. Are you alright? He panicked. Van was feeling little better, little stable. She made okay sign to reassure Hobby and made stop sign as Hobby was about to hold her. Jungkook is on the call, Van. Don't be stubborn. Hobby almost threatened her. Van took a deep breath. Using the leftover energy, she managed to take two steps and unlocked the door of her room. I guess my blood pressure fluctuated. I'm sorry for bothering you. Enjoy your dinner, Oppa. Good night. One tried to be effortlessly calm and polite. It was quite impossible for Van to avoid Hobie's glare. One was aware of the fact that she was caught. After a few moments of silence, Hobie smiled. Okay, you have my contact. If you need, you can call me anytime. That's all I can say. I know you are not gonna call me though. Hobie glanced into Van's room through the widely open door. He checked the water was there. Complimentary candies were there too. Hobie thought Van might be menstruating. Do you want to eat something or you need hot water bag? One answered straightforwardly. I'm not in my dates. Just blacked out. Maybe blood pressure, maybe blood sugar. Eat your noodles before it becomes soggy, Oppa. Silently, Hobby clicked a picture of angry, devastated Van and sent it to Jungkook. Please come as soon as possible. Hobby went into his room as he doubted the smell of the noodles was making her uncomfortable. He wanted to ask Van whether she was pregnant or not, but he didn't. He took his steps back into his room and was about to close the door when he heard something. Van managed to go to the washroom as she felt the urge to throw up. Though Hobie was still giving her the personal space as an individual, but fortunately, the door of the Van's room was blocked by her own bag. It wasn't unlocked, and Hobie could go into her room, into the washroom. Are you pregnant, Van? Hobie asked her while wiping her sweats that glistened her forehead. After some time, one felt a little sober. Hobie stabilized her body as she asked him for help to splash water on her face. I don't know. Hobie, you know, it's okay if you want to hide it. I have told Jungkook that you were here. It's all between you and Jungkook. I know I'm nobody, but before Hobie could complete, one interrupted. Oppa, I haven't tested. I'm not sure. Please don't tell him anything about this. One hesitated. The matter was sensitive. Hobie could see insecurities in Van's eyes. The relationship between Jungkook and Van was on such a point where the two immatures had to handle the situation with maturity. Hobie, I will not if you take care of yourself, no matter whether you are pregnant or not. Are you feeling better? Van, will you judge me if I say I kinda your cologne? Hobie smiled. I would judge you if you wouldn't have told me this. Rest well. Can call me anytime if you need. And don't forget to collect the breakfast tomorrow, okay? Hobie left the room with a satisfying smile on his face. The chat room of Bangtan Bang became goofy again. The Hosok wanted to spill John Wan's symptoms badly with the rest of the bulletproof boys, but fortunately he had a good conversation with Yoongi a few moments before in personal chat. Taehyung wanted to surprise Wan the best way possible, though he was aware of the fact that the golden maknae was her official care of, but he wanted to live the life of a brother. All of the six elders were aware of the fact how protective the maknae was. Jungkook alone was enough to shield the six. Still, Taehyung wanted to take care of Wan. Yoongi, Taehyung? Do you have any plan? They. Let's not surprise Hobie Hyung on his birthday. Hobie. I want a meal cooked by Jin Hyung. Jin. I will definitely not cook. Hobie. You're so rude. Taehyung, why don't you accompany the baby bunny? Jungkook. My manager booked 7 tickets. Jin. You definitely told him to do so. Jungkook. Why not forgive me if I... Yoongi. Forgiveness is a word that doesn't exist in wife's dictionary. She will force you to feel guilty for the rest of your life. So, Taehyung, I have a plan. Let's surprise Wan on Hobie Hyung's birthday. Hobie, now that seems like a good birthday surprise plan. Jungkook, what if she... Hobie, shut up. Go and do your work, let me sleep, and inform me as soon as you reach here, okay? The next morning, Wen took her time to get up from her bed as she had woken up little earlier. After getting ready, she remembered about the breakfast dinner deal. Everything was alright until she felt herself sensitive against the delicious smell of freshly brewed coffee. Am I really pregnant? The thought revolved in her mind. Does it feel like this to be pregnant? As one tried to hang the breakfast she brought for Hobie on the doorknob, she realized the door was actually opened and a delicious smell hit her nostrils. When? Come in. One heard Hobie's voice. She peeked into his room. Oppa, you are cooking the seaweed soup. Hobie turned to Van and smiled. It's my birthday and I'm missing Jin Hyung's cooking. Wanna try it? Val looked at him, tried to hide her hunger and denied Hobie's proposal politely. At this point, Van was actually judging Hobie. Not only Hobie, she was judging the whole Bangtan group. How the already grown up men were emotionally dependent on each other. Come, taste it for me, please. If the smell is not disgusting you. Hobie asked her to taste the birthday special meal he prepared for himself. Wen nodded as she felt she was smelling something utterly delicious. She wasn't a fan of the traditional seaweed soup. Why did you cook so much? It's like more than even for the Bangtan boys. Wen chuckled while tasting the soup. She didn't know she was right. Hobie actually cooked for everyone. It's so delicious, Uppa. I can finish it all alone. Wen almost cried in happiness for no reason. I didn't think that you would be a morning person. Wash your hands and join me. When I was waiting for Hobie's invitation, she quickly washed her hands before securing her seat. Hobie smiled. When was adorable, the way she was enjoying the soup. That filled Hobie's heart with happiness. At the same time, his heart clenched for her, thinking how much had she endured when she got no news of Jungkook. Hobie, When, how's the soup? When, I'm not fond of this, but it tastes so good. Hobie, I think you must go for an HCG test. And one more thing, you must raise your hand first when the authority would ask who wants to assist me. When gulped down the soup and nodded. At the afternoon, Van was feeling strongly nauseous as she stepped into the dining area with her group members. It was end of the field work for the day and they were instructed to complete the paperwork on the next half. Leader Jung Ho Sok noticed her. Van, I will be in my room in 15 minutes. I will make you something for lunch, so don't worry, you don't have to eat here. Van nodded and went to her room. On the other side, rest of the Bangtan boys had already secured themselves in Hobie's room, was preparing to surprise the cutie Yoda song of Taehyung. Hobie actually wanted to spoil their surprise as he knew the boys, and it was his birthday. Hobie's evil mind couldn't stop thinking when Van would spoil their preparation. As Van reached in front of the entrance of her room, she could smell something delicious. She guessed it must be from Hobie's room. Yeah, she was a little confused. She wanted to knock at the door but stopped. What if the smell is coming from anywhere else? Also, she just met Hosok at the ground floor. It was next to impossible for Hosok to start cooking before Van's arrival. She calculated and headed into her own room. She felt the urge of urination as soon as she stepped into her room. Obviously, rushed into the washroom. I almost forgot. She took the HCG kit from her pocket and teared the outer packaging. Collecting the urine sample, she carefully let the flow drop by drop on the absorption panel. The vibrant pink colored band on the control region was visible, but after a few minutes, another band appeared on the test region. It was magic. The most mind blowing magic she had ever seen was right on her hand. Closing her eyes for a moment, she looked again on the panel. No, the second band didn't disappear. It was still there. Van was still in the washroom and she could feel someone's presence in her room. I guess it's Hopioppa, she murmured while tucking the HCG kit on the back pocket of her jeans. Her heart started pounding just before entering into the room as she realized there were more than one person presented in her room. She peeked into the room and it was Namjoon. Yadong-san! Namjoon cheered. Her eyes shifted to the elder who was still in his cooking apron. Shit, I'm dreaming. One murmured. There was Hobie, Taehyung, and Yoongi beside Jimin. No, you're not dreaming. Yoongi chuckled. Taehyung, go and tell her the truth. She is not dreaming. They nodded with a smile and started taking tiny steps towards Van. What? Van looked too clueless to understand the whole situation. She kept slapping her face as she didn't believe it was them. Taehyung gave her a few envelopes and stepped back. You forgot to ask about the results, so. Van wanted to look around the room. She wanted to see her husband, but somehow the aura of the six men restricted her. I'm okay with anything, she murmured while reading the test reports one by one. Folding her knees, she let her body to be dropped on the floor. Of course, she was comfortable with this man in front of her. She didn't want to disgrace herself but couldn't stop herself from breaking down. She was confused. Her soul wanted to see Jungkook. Her body wanted to feel Jungkook's embrace. Her mind was screaming for Jungkook and she felt something popping out from her pocket. The HCG kit had dropped on the floor. What's that? One couldn't believe her ears as she heard what she wanted to hear. It was Jungkook. Jungkook's voice. She tried to look between the gaps of her fingers and saw angry Bunny was coming towards her. Is it your wifey? Jungkook spoke in a husky voice. One didn't have the courage to look at his eyes, but as she heard him twice, she realized his voice was cracked. Did you cry? Why are you sounding like this? One looked at him with concerned eyes. Yes, I did. I answered your question, now it's your turn. Is this HCG kit belongs to you? Jungkook managed to ask her while snorting. Actually, Wen hesitated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I did. I just didn't want to spoil the surprise as Taehyung wanted to live this moment. And I'm sure you too. My feet refused to move, Jungkook. I can't turn back to the caterpillar yet. I can't break the shield of my cocoon either. Here I am, caught in struggle. When hiccuped. You have turned my world upside down. I feel like I'm in the middle of desert, standing under the rain of worries. Yes, I just got to know that I'm pregnant just before entering into this room. I'm feeling guilty for taking random actions emotionally. And they literally jumped on Jungkook to congratulate him. You know what I realized in last few hours? I have loved you so much when everything was going well. I know lots of love comes with lots of fights, lots of misunderstandings, lots of ups and downs. One could feel being embraced while surrendering herself. To me, my marriage with you is not binary. Love is equal to 1 or fight is equal to 0. To me, it's a beautiful sine wave. Jungkook pecked on her lips. I know there is no such thing as right person or perfect relationship. I know I had to push myself to make the effort to feel you loved. I should have learned it better, instead of how you feel when I loved you. Jungkook couldn't stop himself from breaking down in her arms. I'm happy. I'm happy for the baby, but still I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking my relationship with you granted. I'm sorry for stopping myself from investing my efforts on the relationship. Good relationship requires work because we all are imperfect. Perfect love is not a feeling, it's more action. Van, John Van, a perfect partner is one who can get you beyond your wall. Please give me a chance to cherish my relationship with you again. Please give me the chance to pamper you throughout the pregnancy period. Pressing her head against his chest, he kept rubbing her back. Hey, overgrown bunny, don't forget she is pregnant and also it's my birthday. Jin Hyung had cooked such a big meal for us. Let's eat, Hobie interrupted. I need to pack my things up after lunch. And Dr. Van, Dr. John would be the new in charge. I guess the rest of the group members are notified already. What? No! I thought I'm the luckiest among all, Uppa. Please don't hand over. Van pleaded Hobie. Hobie chuckled. I will be here supervising another group, and I'm sure you will be more comfortable with Dr. John. Dr. John Jungkook. Van looked at Cook while securing herself on the chair. Why? Even in mid-camp, I have to work under same boss. Dr. John Van, I'm destined to spend all my fortune to be with you, to accompany you, and you are destined to be accompanied by me. Jungkook chuckled. The elder one interrupted. Hey John, stop talking. I'm not gonna put the lunch into the microwave again, and happy birthday, Hobie. The Bangtan family enjoyed the birthday meal.